5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's look at arithmetic sequences. Sequences that progress by each term being obtained from the previous term by the addition of a constant number are called arithmetic sequences, arithmetic progressions, or simply APs. Of all those terms, arithmetic progressions is the most common. All APs have the following form. The first term is A, and then to obtain the second term we're adding the constant D. The next term along will be the original term A plus twice the difference D, and so on. So we note that the first term, T1, is designated A, D is called the common difference, and each term is obtained by adding D to the term before. So Tn equals Tn minus 1 plus D, where T1 equals A, or we can rewrite that by adding 1 to each of the index numbers. So Tn plus 1 equals Tn plus D, which is the ClassPad friendly form, where T1 equals A. Don't forget, you always need to define an initial term when you're writing a recursive rule. Okay, so an example. The first thing we do is examine the sequence and see if there's a common first difference. And you should be able to see very easily that we're adding 5 each time. Because there's a constant common difference, that tells us that it is an arithmetic progression, and we can write down the rule Tn plus 1, which I'm highlighting in yellow, is simply the previous value Tn plus 5, where the initial term T1 equals 13. When you're identifying arithmetic progressions, you can write down those three key ideas. Geometric sequences are sequences that progress by each term being obtained by multiplying the previous term by a constant number, and they're called geometric sequences, geometric progressions, or simply GPs. And once again, the most common term is geometric progression. So these start with the initial term A, but now we're multiplying by a factor R, and R is called the common ratio. The general form is Tn equals R times Tn minus 1, and we can rewrite that once again by adding 1 to each index number, and we get Tn plus 1 equals R times Tn, where T1 equals A, and that is the ClassPad friendly form. An example. So the first thing we do is we look for a common difference, and in this case there isn't one. That means it's not an arithmetic progression, so it could be a geometric progression. So now what we do is calculate the ratio by looking at the next term divided by the previous term. So 96 divided by 128 equals 0.75. Then we move up one position and do 72 divided by 96, etc. And we can see that those ratios are a constant all the way along. So that means that we have a common ratio, which means it is a GP, and we can write the rule Tn plus 1, which again I'm highlighting in yellow, is simply the previous term Tn times the common ratio 0.75, where the first term T1 equals 128. Example 1 requires you to use either the spreadsheet app or the sequence app on your ClassPad, and I'll leave you to do that. If you haven't already done it, then check with a classmate and they'll be able to give you a hand to show you how to use it, or you can see me during the week or even attend tutoring after school. Example 2, likewise, you'll need to use your ClassPad to obtain the answers. That's probably my pizza.